a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor on a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Put nigga out like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake.
What's poppin', T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 3 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously or literally. So if that works for you, then let's get into tonight's review. The episode picks up where last week's left off with Irena and Winter coming face to face finally, and Irena asks Winter for the receipts that she's been claiming that she's had all this time. So Winter lets her know that somebody reached out to her stating that they alleged Jamie and Irena didn't raise Jason. They sent him off to school and then they brought him back to be on the show to not look like deadbeat parents, but that the fact that they moved her mom in to take care of him while they rip and ran the streets. And Irena was like, girl, that's it. Like, this is the tea. This is what you've been moaning and groaning about. She was like, of course he had to go to school, just because he had a disability don't mean that he was just going to be sitting at home. And she was like, that was absolutely not true, and you shouldn't have even kept it, shouldn't have even acknowledged it. Like, what was the point of you screen saving it and all of this stuff? And my thing is, I understood why Winter kept the information. She said that she didn't respond back to the people, but at the end of the day, we are on a reality show. And say, for instance, what these people were saying were true, I would prefer that you give me the heads up, or even if it with it not being true, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? I would want the heads up that this is going around about me. And then, you have to, now that you're a public figure, you have to worry about things getting to the blogs and, getting to us YouTubers and things getting blown out of proportion. And then once people make up in their mind what they think of you and who you are, that narrative will stick with you forever. So I understood why she kept the information. She didn't even have to let them know that she had this information. She could have just been petty and then just brought it out one day and was like, well, that's why I heard such and such and such and such and such. She tried to give her the opportunity, to let her know what was up. Irena said that she'd already heard this same tea like 2 years ago or whatever the case may be. She basically just tells Winter to keep her family name out of her mouth. And how dare she talk about a son with disabilities? So I was like, well, she never talked about Jason. Like, she never did that. Now, did she talk about Jamie? Yes, but she didn't say nothing about Jason. And then Winter brings up the fact that Irena threatened her with physical violence on Twitter. And she was like, no, I didn't. She was like, oh, yes, you did. I have the receipts. And Irena was like, you called me meek. And Winter was like, oh, I did. Because at first she was trying to act like she never came at Irena in a negative way. And then Irena reminded her. And she was like, oh, yeah, I did say that. So, I apologize. And then she brings up the receipt of Irena saying, you better hope I don't see you out in the street because I'm going to show you mute or whatever the case may be. Now, Irena's excuse was that could have meant anything. That could have meant, a verbal altercation. That didn't mean I was going to put my hands on you. But girl, you know what you meant when you said that. You know exactly what you meant when you said that. That meant you going to catch these hands. You going to catch a fade, okay? And at the end of the conversation, they both agreed that they're never going to be friends and to keep each other's names out of their mouths and that they're even at this point. And the whole thing is just really nonsense and silly gooses, and I'm over it. Ashely then visits her childhood home for the first time, she said, in 20 years, which I was very shocked to hear that she hadn't been to the house that she'd grown up in such a long time. I was wondering, like, was it in a different suburb or city area? Because, like, that's a long time. Like, does she have a relationship with her mom or not? Because this is the house that her mom had that she grew up in. And so she was like, as you can see, I grew up very differently, meaning, she came from like low income, housing and things of that nature. So she visits her mom, who she looks a lot alike. And I noticed right off the bat when she walked into the house, she was like, "Hey, Kimberly." Now, I call my mama Patricia Ann being funny, but not in a serious conversation. So right then and there, I knew that the dynamics between the two were very, very skewed and off. So they sit down in the dining room area, and Ashely brings up her book and the things that she talked about in her book. And one of those things being the fact that her mom left her at the age of 16 to fend for herself, to raise herself while she moved out with a boyfriend. The mama refuses to take accountability. She doesn't feel like she just left her and moved out. She feels like Ashely at 16 was a grown woman. And my head almost spun around in a 360 circle when that lady said that you were a grown woman. What? Are you high? Like, are you conscious? Like, are you awake? Like, what are you talking about? She was a grown woman. She was still a teenage girl who needed supervision and guidance. Like, what? Like, oh my God, I went through something very similar at the same age as Ashely, but it was different where my mom used to work at Days Inn as a front desk manager, and she used to work the 3 to 11 shift. So my mom didn't drive at that time, so she would either catch the bus to work or catch a cab. And so she didn't feel safe or comfortable, doing either at that late at night. So she started to sleep at the hotel on the days that she had to work and would leave me at home by myself. And I would have to get myself up to go to school and, feed myself and all that stuff. Like, everything that Ashely said she had to go through herself, I had to go through as well. And this was coming off of me being 16, being pregnant, getting an abortion, dealing with those emotions, my first heartbreak, all of these different things. And my mom was, going to work and staying there. Now, of course, she had to do what she had to do when she was trusting me to, be a good adolescent and go to school. But I didn't go. Like, if wasn't nobody there to tell me to get up and go, I wasn't going. And then 6 months later, here I am pregnant again at 17 now with Kyrese. And she was shocked when I got pregnant again. And I'm like, how are you shocked when you ain't here? And she didn't want to take accountability for that at the time. And I don't even think to this day she's ever really taken accountability for that. So I really understood and related to Ashely when it came to this topic of moms or parents in general not taking responsibility for them not stepping up as a parent and leaving you to make adult decisions. It's not right. It's not right. And the mama was way out of pocket. And she needed to own up to her mistakes and just say that, I was wrong. I was being selfish. I was thinking about myself and my wants and my needs. And I put you to the wayside. But the mother feels like because she was still paying the rent and the bills over there, that was taking care of her. No, ma'am, it was not. No, ma'am. The mama was like, I love my family. I love you. I love my grandkids. And Ashely's like, nobody's debating that. I just want you to take accountability for what you did in the past. And the mama says that she's sorry, but then here comes the but that she didn't abandon her. And she didn't know she was upset all of these years because Ashely keeps things bottled up. But girl, I'm pretty sure she's mentioned these things to you at least once over the years. Like, come on now. If she ain't visited home in 20 years, don't you see that there's a disconnect between you two? Ashely gets upset and begins to cry because no matter what she says, her mom just isn't getting it, won't accept it, and refuses to give her a genuine apology. And Ashely is like, this is why things between us will never be okay, because of this reason right here. And it's sad. And what I've learned, what worked for me, and I'm not saying this will work for everybody or even Ashely, is that it comes to a point where you just have to accept people for who they are how they behave and deal with them accordingly. Like, there are things from my childhood with my parents that I've never gotten an apology for or acknowledgments for, but if you want peace for yourself and if you want to have a relationship with your parents, you have to forgive them for you. You may not ever get that apology that you want or you may even desperately need, but it comes to a point where you have to forgive them, forgive the situation, and move on for yourself. And that's how I'm able to have the relationship that I have now with my mom and my dad. Like, me and my dad have had our ups and downs, but I've now, over like the last 10 years, I'm the closest that I've ever been with my father in the 41 years that I've been on this earth. And it comes with maturity. It comes with being a parent yourself and realizing that as a parent, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. I've done things as a parent that I regret and wish didn't happen, and it made me realize that at the end of the day, we're all human and that we make mistakes. So hopefully Ashely will be able to get to a place where she is able to forgive her mom and build a solid relationship with her from now moving forward. But it also made me realize that this is why Ashely is the way that she is when it comes to women. She's not trusting of women because she's not trusting of her mother. The first female relationship that impacted her life, was broken because she lost the trust and respect and the security from the main woman in her life, which is her mom. That's why she don't connect with women like that, because she don't even connect with her mama. So that explains a lot about why she is the way that she is with her tough, hard exterior, especially when it comes to other women, and why she comes across so catty with other women. Because look, she's catty with her mother. Her mother's catty with her. This is the type of relationships that she has built with women because of the relationship with her mom. It all makes sense now. And by the way, I'm sorry for the echo, you guys. I'm filming in my living room today, and there's not a lot of furniture in here yet, so forgive me for the echo. After that, we then go to Clifton and Joi, who go to find different scents and things for his beard oil that he's working on. And while they're there, they discuss their wedding and how she's been kind of lackadaisical with the process. And that's when she reveals to him that she never really wanted a wedding. She just wants to marry him. That's what's most important for her. And she brings up the fact that, they met on television, they got engaged on television. She wants something special just for them. She doesn't want everything to be revolved around or involving the world. And she was like, why spend all that money? And it's just ridiculous. So he was like, I get what you're saying, but he was like, we do have family and friends who I would love to be there. And I want to see you walk down the aisle in that white dress. That's why I want a wedding. So they agreed to, at this point, table it and give her time to think on the situation. I think that they can compromise by having a ceremony just for them. That's what Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did the day before their wedding. They had a ceremony with just the two of them and a preacher or whatever. And I think that they could do that, just a ceremony for the two of them by themselves, and then have the wedding that he wants for family and friends. Or they can, have the ceremony with just the two of them and then have a reception, you know what I'm saying, with family and friends. So there's a way to do it where both parties can be pleased. And I really like them as a couple. I like the way that they communicate and talk to one another. I really like them. I really, truly do. At Irena and Jamie's house, she tells him about her meetup with Winter and the receipts that Winter had. And Jamie was like, well, what'd she say about me? And she was like, she didn't even bring you up. That wasn't even a topic of conversation. He says that when he does see Winter, that they'll have their own conversation. And I remember Carlos on his YouTube channel teasing that the confrontation between those two is going to be real spicy. But we also see how Irena's dealing with Jamie being retired now and being home, and how him being home now has, interrupted her daily routine. He feels like them sleeping in into 8:30 is late in the day. And I was like, well, child, he would hate me. Because everybody in my life knows, don't you dare even call me at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I will cuss you out. I think that is so rude for people to call you at that time in the morning. I like, what? That's disrespectful. I feel like you should not be calling nobody's house or phone until at least after 10:30. Like, that's just respectful to me. Like, because I feel like if you calling me 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, somebody better be dead or in jail. Like, you better not call me that early. Because first of all, knowing me, I'm just not going to sleep anyway. So Jamie would call me all kind of lazy fat heifers. Quick has been planning a surprise party for Ashely for her birthday with her best friend Alicia. And it's the day of the party. He's super excited. He told Alicia to make sure that they're there on time and everything. But it's the day of the party and Alicia is nowhere to be found. She's not answering the phone. He don't know what's going on. He's, getting frustrated. Ashely arrives knowing that she's walking into a surprise party. She wasn't surprised at all, but she looked really, really cute. Loved the dress on her. Then as the party is getting into full swing, Ashely's assistant, I believe her name is Angie or Angela, gets a frantic phone call from Alicia saying that she'd been in an accident and that her car got totaled. Like, she got hit twice. So she's a wreck. She's crying. Quick asks what's going on. She tells him and he's like, is she okay? And she was like, yes, she's okay. She's just, shaking up and everything. And he was like, all right, don't tell Ashely, just let her have a good time. If there was something wrong with her, of course, I would tell her, but she's okay, she's all right. We just gonna let Ashely enjoy her party. I knew right then and there that was a horrible idea. Because let me tell you something. I don't play about my family or my friends, especially my friends, okay? My bestie boos, So if this Ashely and Alicia have a relationship like me and Losha and me and Monique, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been friends for 30 plus years. And if somebody get a phone call telling me saying that Losha car was totaled, she's fine physically, but her car was totaled, and nobody tells me, oh, I'm going off on everybody because I don't care about no party. I want to be with my friend to make sure she's okay. And I just knew that was a horrible, horrible idea. So Ashely is asking everybody, where's Alicia? Where's her best friend? Why is she not at her party? And Quick is being mum's the word. So the cast sits down and they start talking, and Irena brings up the conversation that she had with Joi, and how Joi was offended by how Ashely and Alicia were coming at her about the speaking engagement for being, single women dating, and how, they felt like since a single mom's dating, they felt like since she's not a mother that she shouldn't have been speaking. And Irena was just like, she just felt like y'all could just been like, congratulations, girl, and left it at that. And Ashely was like, oh, like, I'm happy for her, but at the end of the day, she's still not a mom. And there's a difference when you dating as a mom versus dating as a single person. She was like, I like Joi and everything like that, but I still stand behind what I said. And once again, you can feel that way, but I just feel like everything don't have to be said. Just because it's in your brain does not mean that it should come out of your mouth. If I said half the stuff that I think about folks or situations, child, would nobody like me. You just have to get to a place where, okay, it is what it is. It's not that serious. It's not detrimental. It's not hurting me or anybody that I know or love. So it's just like, let people have it. But at the end of the day, I have to remind myself that these people are on a reality show and they have to make mountains out of molehills. So I think Ashely said that, she had talked to Joi about it or whatever. And then Sharella brings up the fact that Joi blocked her, has her blocked, and her husband, Black, blocked as well. So we finally get to meet Black. Sharella says that she does not understand why Joi has her blocked because they don't know one another. Black was like, he don't understand why she got him blocked. He was like, the only thing that he could think of is the fact that when they were in the group together, He was dating this girl. Joi and the girl ended up getting really close and became besties. And when they broke up, he said that she felt some type of way when he got with Sharella. She was feeling some type of way about it. That didn't really make sense to me, because I was like, why would she care about who you dating at the end of the day? If you and the girl broke up and then you started dating somebody else, like, I'm not understanding why Joi would care. Like, it felt to me like a part of the story was missing. And Irena was like, yeah, that's weird. Like, like, why would she care about what you got going on? Like, nobody could make sense of it. Sharella is rolling her eyes because she just don't understand why Joi don't like her and has her blocked and everything. And like I said on last week's review, I didn't understand why she didn't like Sharella either, because I'm like, you don't know her. Whatever happened in the group had nothing to do with her, until we see next week that it's being alleged that Black was dating Sharella while he was dating Joi's friend. Now, the question is, did Sharella know about the friend and was the willing side chick participant? Like, it's so much more to this story that I guess will be revealed over time. Jamie drunk self then decides to take the opportunity to thank Quick for coming to Lil Jamie's aid the day that they got into it and everything. And it was so obvious that, you know, he was inebriated, he was tipsy or whatever, he was feeling it. He was kind of slurry a little bit, moving a little slow and everything. And, you know, Quick was like, you know, no problem or whatever. And I forgot how the conversation went, but basically Jamie was saying that he feels as if Lil Jamie is a spoiled brat. He's a bum. And they were like, no, Quick, don't say that. I mean, no, Jamie, like, don't say that. Don't call him that. And Ashely was like, you know, I've been called the worst things by my mom and stuff. Like, that stuff stays with you. Like, that's not cool. And Irena was like, you know, he's texted me saying, you know, he wants to unalive himself and he don't like himself. And Jamie was like, he been saying that for 8 years. He just want attention. And so Ashely is like, you know, that's not nothing to play with. Like, you can't take stuff like that lightly. You don't know what a person is thinking or feeling. And come to find out, Ashely herself has tried to unalive herself twice. So she understands how serious that whole process can be. So on next week's episode, we'll see her discuss that with Jamie. And I agree, that's not nothing to play with. When people say that, you can't just automatically assume that they want attention or that they just talking to be talking or whatever. Like, it's obvious that that boy has mental issues. I'm not saying that he's, you know, crazy or anything like that, but it's obvious that this boy suffers from either depression, low self-esteem. It's something going on with this young man that is not being addressed, more than the fact that he's lazy. Maybe he feels inadequate. Maybe he feels like he's not living up to the standards of his parents. I myself, with my own son, have had to have the conversation together in therapy about how he felt like he wasn't going to be able to measure up to all of my successes and how he was comparing himself to me. And it's a big shoe to fill when you have parents that are successful and you're a young person trying to find your way in this world. So hopefully Jamie will be able to understand that and move accordingly as a parent. I know that he watches my reviews, and hopefully he takes the things that I'm saying to heart. And because as a parent, I totally get it. I understand where both sides of the spectrum are coming from. So after that, Quick then pulls Ashely outside and lets her know what happened with Alicia. And she like, huh? She's like, is she all right? And he was like, yeah, she okay. And so she's trying to call Alicia. Alicia's not answering the phone. And he was like, she not answering the phone for me either, but she's okay. And she was like, why did you not tell me? And he was like, cause she was okay. I wanted you to have a good time. She gets mad. She gets upset. And he was like, what you want to do? What do you want to do? And she was like, quick, just give me a second. Like, leave me alone. And he was like, see this, she said something about him not having no friends. And he was like, I got friends. She was like, child, please. But she was pissed, and I understood why she was mad, because like my friend just had an accident where she was hit not once but twice, and her car was totaled, sir. Like, that's not no minuscule thing. Like, you should have told me. So I knew that that wasn't going to fare well. And that's how the episode ended. I will say that I really enjoyed tonight's episode. One thing that I do love about the Love and Marriage DC franchise is that we're dealing with so many relatable topics, whether it's be parenting, you know, mental health, relationships with, you know, as an adult person with, you know, parents that may not have been the best parent, you know, relationship issues, friendship issues. It's so many different issues that get dealt with on this show. And that's what makes it good, because there's a balance between the real life situations and the ratchet and the drama. And I appreciate that. So overall, I'm going to give tonight's episode an A. I really, truly enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode down below in the comments section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.